4.5, indirect or partial variations. 4.4 was all about direct variations, and so I want you to pay attention to, while you're learning this, okay, I want you to pay attention to how direct variations and indirect variations are similar and how they're different. So with indirect variations, we have two variables, which is very similar to direct variations, and we also have two numbers. Now this is a little bit different. In direct, we only had one number, but now we have two numbers. Now the two numbers are the constant of variation, or what I like to call the slope, and this b, which is a one-time event, or what we call a constant. So these are the two numbers. So these kind of relationships, just like with direct variations, they can be expressed in a variety of ways: words, equations, tables of values, and graphs, and we're going to go through all of those today. Now, on to an example that is quite near and dear to my heart. It's about pizza. A pizzeria charges $8 for a cheese pizza and then $1.50 for each additional topping. Examine the relationship between the total cost for the pizza and the number of toppings. So this right here, this summary statement really makes it clear that these are the two variables that we're talking about. Now, the nice thing about indirect is that fixed cost. So a pizzeria charges $8 for a cheese pizza. So this right here is a fixed cost. So the fixed cost gives you an insight into what the units on the dependent variable is going to be. So we know that units on dependent variable variable will be in dollars. So if I look at the number of toppings or the total cost, I know that the total cost is also going to be in dollars. So that's going to be my dependent variable. And the independent variable is going to be the other one, so that's the number of toppings. So I just want to color code here a little bit. All of my independent variables, they're always going to be in yellow. Just going to leave a space there. And my my dependent variables are always going to be in magenta. Oh, oh, total cost, dependent variable. This one, leave some room. This one right here. My fixed value is always, I'm going to do that in green. So that's my fixed value or my constant. Can leave a little space there and color that one in. And last but not least, my slope or constant of variation is going to be blue. Now we know that the $1.50, that's going to be the slope or the constant of variation because it's cost per topping. The per really gives us the sense that this number has to be multiplied by the independent variable to make sure that we know how it contributes to the total cost. So, if we were to describe it in words, we would say the total cost depends on the number of toppings plus $8. So if I want to keep that color code going, I'm going to number of toppings, I'm going to highlight that in yellow. The $8 I'm going to highlight in green. And the total cost I'm going to highlight in magenta. And so now this is just a different way to record exactly what we did. The dependent is going to be the cost, and we're going to give it the variable c. The constant of variation, or the slope, is going to be our 150. Our independent is going to be number of toppings. We're going to call that t. And the one-time fee, or the constant, is going to be that $8. So, if I write a formula, I'm going to say C equals, oh, I forgot to put my blue here. I'm going to say 150t plus 8. Fabulous. So this right here is going to be our formula. Whoop. Woo. Yes, I am having fun. So, our table. If we had a horizontal orientation, I would make sure that the top is where my independent variable is, which is our number of toppings, and the bottom would be our total cost, which is our dependent. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a vertically oriented one, just because I like those better a little bit. It's just a preference thing. So if I were to draw a vertically oriented one, I would say toppings go on the left and total cost goes on the right. And if I have 0 toppings, I know that my cost is going to be $8. If I have 1 topping, it's going to be $9.50. If I have 2 toppings, it's going to be $11. If I have 3 toppings, it's going to be $12.50. And if I have 4 toppings, it is going to be $14. So if I were to create ordered pairs out of these, I would say 0, 8, 1, 950, 2, 11, 3, 1250, 4, 14. So now I know what plots to point. No, what points to plot. Oh boy. So I'm just going to keep both of these things in view here. Very good. Oh, of course. I'll change it up. So here I'm going to write down my number of toppings. And vertically I'm going to put on the scale the cost. I'm going to make sure that I have the units there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Going one per square is going to be really great. But this one I'm going to have to go up by 2 because I think I only have 12 here. So I'm going to go up $2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's all I need really. I'm going to change my color. So if you look on the ordered pairs, I'm going to see that at 0 and 8. So if I have 0 toppings, it's going to cost me $8. If I have 1 topping, it's going to be $9.50. If I have 2 toppings, it's going to be $11. 3 toppings, it's going to be $12.50. 4 toppings, it's going to be $14. So I'm just going to show the trend by drawing the line. But truly, this is discrete data, right? Like I can't buy half or a quarter of a topping. I have to buy 1 topping or 2 toppings or no toppings or 10 toppings, or they have to all be in whole numbers. So this line just the connection of the dots truly is just for to show the trend there. Now I just want you to pay attention to your previous notes. Now I'll switch back for you, but you'll notice that in your direct graph it went through the point 0, 0. Let's look at this. Let's look at this one. It's not going through the point 0, 0. So that's how you know that it's a direct graph. So direct graphs, that's how you know that it's an indirect graph or a direct graph. So indirect graphs, they have a positive slope. I'll just write that out, positive slope. And they do not go through 0.00. For example, this point here at 0, it's 8. So it starts at 8 when it's when you have 0 toppings.